Can I steal that mic from you? Thanks so much. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me out here today. As mentioned, my name is Randy from Skills Canada, Alberta. Our office is based in Edmonton, but I'm from Southern Alberta myself, so I'm super excited to be back down here in Calgary today, feel a little bit closer to home. We got a flash blizzard in Edmonton yesterday, so it is nice to be back where the weather cooperates. Have any of you guys heard of Skills Alberta before, or competed with us before? Yeah, we have a few in the crowd. All right, we've got our skills masters among us, who when you're done, you can go pick their brains a bit. So at Skills, it is our goal to help you guys develop skills in trades and technologies through our events and competitions around the province. And since this presentation is based on trades and technologies, I need everyone to take out your device if you have it on you. If you don't, just follow along on the screen or with a friend. Go to www.menti.com and enter the code 714809 with no spaces. No spaces, just enter the code. When you get in, you'll be prompted with a question, and you'll have about 10 seconds to answer. Your answer will pop up on the screen here, but it will remain anonymous. Make sure you answer the first thing that comes to mind, because the question's only going to be up for about 10 seconds. How are you doing? Are you guys able to get in? Still working on it? Give me a thumbs up when you're in. Okay, we've got one. Awesome. If you're having technical difficulties, don't worry. You'll get the same benefit following along on the screen, answering in your head. But we're going to move on to our first question. Oh, nice. You guys are rocking it. Throw back to your 5-year-old self. What did you want to be when you grew up? Teacher, doctor, ballerina. Sweet, I wanted to be a ballerina too. Next question. I'm most happy when I am eating, playing badminton, Spider-Man. All right. Did you guys like that? You might be wondering, why am I asking you these questions? Why am I getting you to do this silly activity? Well, I want you guys to realize after this presentation that there are no silly interests. Whatever you saw up on the screen here, no matter how silly it may seem, I hope that by the end of this presentation, you figure out a way that you can connect whatever it is you put up there into a way to bring that into the world of work one day. An awesome example of this, have any of you guys heard of Paul LaFrance from HGTV? We have a few? So, Paul is a wildly successful celebrity contractor. He's a designer, an entrepreneur. He is a photographer. He is a musician. But his life wasn't always that successful. Growing up, Paul really struggled with ADHD. He hated school, and he had no idea what he was going to do when he graduated. So how did he become so successful? Well, he did what you guys just did a few minutes ago and asked himself, his 5-year-old self and his happiest self, what they had to say. And their answer was, Paul, you need to drop all this worrying about what to be when you grow up and just do what makes you come alive. So here is a little pep talk Paul wanted us to share with you this morning.
Most young people, when they're looking at grown-ups, they see a lot of serious cases. Life's very serious. It's intense. There's bills and stress and anxiety. Oh, dear Lord, what is Donald Trump going to do? Right? You guys familiar with this? Let me tell you something. My challenge to young people always, because Katie and I will speak across the country all the time, and one of the main messages I want you guys to understand is that when you are moving into adulthood, What we want you to understand so desperately is, if you lose the magic of childlikeness, you are very likely to just end up as one of the adults in the world that you see that don't look very happy. I'm telling you right now, if you choose a path to say, I'm not going to be afraid of the child within me, of the artist within me, of the builder within me, of the chef, of the baker, of the welder, of the mechanic within me that I love doing and I want to be, listen, I still play with Lego. Of course I do. But like old Lego, not new Lego. Old Lego, where you have a big box of it, and all I'm doing now is building things with bigger pieces. Whether they're made of wood, whether they're made of steel, it's still just Lego. I didn't lose the child inside. People often ask me all the time, Paul, where do you come up with your creative ideas? Do you want to know what I say? I do my very best to not think like an adult. Let me tell you something right now. The people that are, when you're at this age and you have the ability to step out into the world and not be afraid of what makes you different than anyone else, what makes you think differently, what makes the things you love that you're pursuing, or who tells you, oh, that's not a smart path, that's not a smart path. I want to challenge you, do not compromise pursuing the things that make you come alive, that you love to do. Because here's the whole point. What the world truly needs from the next generation are men and women who have come alive. Because the men and women that have come alive will draw other people to them. People who live that way are like magnets.
So this is a good point in my presentation to tell you a little bit more about myself, because Paul's advice has had enormous impact on me in my career. I grew up in a tiny little farming town in southern Alberta where life was simple. I didn't think about what I was going to do when I grew up for a day in my life, because to me, I was going to do everything. But things changed when I got to high school. Suddenly there was all this pressure on me from my teachers, from my parents, from all the adults in the world telling me that you've got to pick a path, you've got to stick with it, you've got to study hard to ace your diploma exams so you get into a good university, get your degree, and then go get a fancy adult job. So I did these things. I followed that path. I put my head down, I powered through school, graduated. Got into a good university, got myself a psychology degree. Graduated with that degree, got myself my first big adult job in the adult world, in a big fancy adult office, doing all kinds of important adult things. And guess what? I hated it. I looked like this guy up here, swimming in piles of papers and reports in a little cubicle office, writing up emails and reports to people who I'd never even seen or heard of. And after a little while of sticking with that, I realized that no amount of money was going to be of any use to me if I had a heart attack by the time I was 25, because I hated what I was doing so much. So I quit my job, I went back to the drawing board, figuring out what am I going to do with my life. It dawned on me at that point that all along I've been asking myself the wrong questions. Growing up, I was so fixed on what am I going to do, what am I going to be, that I completely neglected to ask myself the most important question. Paul said it, I'll say it to you, you're going to hear it a lot today. What makes me come alive? So the second that I did this, I dropped everything and I just started doing what I love. The pieces of my life just fell together, and opportunities to get paid to do these things just seemed to fall into my lap. I went back to college on a volleyball scholarship where I earned a technical diploma to be an environmental technologist. I started up my own business coaching volleyball camps. I traveled to Thailand where I taught English for a few years. I backpacked across Southeast Asia writing a travel blog. I made art and I sold it. I taught yoga in the mountains. And now, all of those things that I love to do have brought me to this job with Skills Alberta, where I get to bring my love of teaching, of coaching, of traveling, of being creative to what I do now, which is pretty much travel across the province and talk to students like you and take our most talented, dedicated students on Team Alberta to the National Skills Competition. If you had told me when I was in high school that all I had to do to become successful was figure out what it is I love and do as much of it as I could, I would not have believed you. But it worked. It worked for me, it worked for Paul, and I would be willing to bet that it worked for any adult that you look up to in your life and think, man, they got it figured out. But enough about us adults. Us adults are boring and old and going to be checking into retirement homes soon, while you guys are the ones out there building the future of work. But as we know, the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something that we make happen. It's something that we create. So your challenge today, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to rebuild the future of work. And this presentation is your training. Your training today consists of 3 phases. Phase 1, what will the future look like? Phase 2, how will we get to the future? And phase 3, once we've gotten there, how will we master the future? You guys ready for phase 1? Yeah. Nice, we've got 4 people coming with me to the future today. Phase 1, what will the future look like? So I mentioned to you earlier, this presentation is focused on trades and technologies. So I think first we should clear up what exactly is a trade. Up on the screen here I have some pictures of our Team Alberta competitors at the Skills Canada National Competition this year. You'll see traditional trades up there like carpentry, like landscaping. You'll also see robotics, bricklaying. You might see some trades that you didn't even know were trades, like culinary arts or fashion technology or aesthetics or hairstyling. So I want you to think of a trade today as an occupation that requires mastery of a tangible skill. By tangible skill, I mean something to do with your hands, with your senses. It's not just working behind a screen, but bringing something that you can hold, that you can fix, that you can create into the world. Often, this mastery is achieved through an apprenticeship and dedication to one's craft. So what exactly then is technology? It's really easy in the year 2017 to think of technology as synonymous with screens, devices, gadgets, and gizmos. But some of the earliest forms of human technology were nothing more than a stone carved into an arrow to be used as a tool. So if all of these things up here are technology, what do they have in common? Well, I want you guys to think of technology as the knowledge of constructing, obtaining, and using tools, and the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes. By that definition, technology can be a lot of things outside of just the realm of a screen. Okay, so what is the relationship between these two things, between trades and technology? Do we have any Transformers fans in the crowd? You don't have to be too cool for school. I still love Transformers. Obviously, right? If you say no, you're lying. I want you to think of the relationship between trades and technologies kind of like Optimus Prime when he's in truck form and when he's in Autobot form, in that trades are like Optimus in truck form. They give technology a vehicle into the tangible world, where technology is like Optimus in Autobot form. He allows the trades to optimize and evolve, and without each other, both of these are obsolete. What's even cooler is the impact of, as trades and technology evolve, they actually create new jobs that didn't previously exist. Let me show you what I mean. Flashback to the year 1917, and for the first time in history, cars outnumber horses on the road. Fathom that. Fathom seeing the first Model T cruise by while you're hanging out in your little horse and carriage. Mind blown. And just like that, the auto mechanic is born. 1933, the multi-plane camera is invented, and suddenly we have the need for 3D animators. 1959, the space race is underway, and NASA assembles the Mercury 7. the first astronauts are born. In 1989, the first website is published on the World Wide Web, and suddenly we have a need for web designers. And just 10 years ago, in 2007, Apple released the first smartphone, and almost overnight, the job of an app developer is created. An app developer didn't even exist when I was growing up. Can you guys imagine what jobs are going to exist out there for you by the time you graduate? The MIT Annual Technology Report predicts that these emergent technologies in virtual reality, 3D printing, self-driving vehicles, nanotechnology, genome editing, that these technologies are going to have the power to create jobs that don't even exist. They even predict that many current students, are going to wind up working in jobs that don't exist yet, using technology that hasn't been invented yet to solve problems that we don't even know are problems yet. Which brings me to my first trivia crack question for you guys. If you think you know your answer, get your hand up nice and high where I can see it. Ready? How many students in this room today are predicted to work jobs that don't exist yet? Is it 1 in 3, 2 in 3, 1 in 10, or 1 in 2? What do you guys think? Yeah, up here. What, sorry? 2 over 3? What do you guys think? Ding, 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 ding. Correct. Good job. But how crazy is that to think about? Everybody take a minute, look to your left, look to your right. 2 or 3 of you, when you graduate, are likely going to be working in a job that doesn't even exist yet. Crazy. Just crazy. So that proposes an interesting problem. If your job is to rebuild the future, but 2 out of 3 of you are going to work in jobs that don't exist yet, how can you prepare for that? How can you prepare for a job that doesn't exist? Well, first we need to clear up, what is the difference between a career and a job? Have you guys ever heard the saying, life's about the journey, not the destination? Yeah, we've heard that floating around, blowing up your Instagram feed. Well, on your adventure through life, it's about the journey and the destination. So your career is the journey. It is the minute-to-minute live feed of all the exciting things going on in your world. Whether it is a project that you're passionate about, or a sport that you love, or an instrument that you want to master, or maybe it's just taking a minute to watch Netflix and chill and listen to your own thoughts. It's all of these things that combine together to create one unique career path that is individual and unique to you. A job, on the other hand, is a destination. It's a specific target that you set out to achieve. Kind of like putting in a pit stop in Google Maps. You're on a road trip, you need to get gas, you might pull over quick and fill up and get on your way. Or maybe you find somewhere that you fall in love with and you decide to stay there for a long time. A job is no different. You might stay at some jobs for a short time, you might stay at some for years. The point is that it's likely that you'll have many jobs in your lifetime, all of which form together to steer the path that your career takes. Which brings us to a next trivia crack question. Ready to get your hands up again? Just how many jobs do experts predict the average person will hold in their lifetime? 3 to 5, 8 to 10, 12 to 15, or 18 to 21? What do you guys think? Get your hands up where I can see them. Yeah, up here. 18 to 8 to 10? It's not 8 to 10. What do you guys think? Front row.
3 to 5. 3 to 5 or 12 to 15?
3 to 5? It's not 3 to 5.
12 to 15.
It is 12 to 15. Holy cow. What's even more exciting is these same experts predict that people will actually create the jobs of the future. You're not just going to train for them, but the skills that will be the most important for you guys to be able to create these jobs are human skills. In an era where VR and AI and robots are coming up and doing so much work for us, in order to make yourself irreplaceable, you need to master skills that a robot cannot do. A bunch of these skills that are going to be gold in the future are up here in this word cloud. Things like creativity, adaptability, critical thinking, resilience, but also academic skills like literacy, numeracy, problem solving will all be important. But it's not just enough to go and tell an employer, yep, I'm really creative, I have good problem solving skills, I'm good at math, cool. No. You have to give an employer evidence of how you have demonstrated that skill in the real world. That is what will make you indispensable. But lucky for you guys, I'm here to share with you the #1 resume writing hack today. It has worked 100% of the time, 10 out of 10 for me in writing resumes and getting hired. And I've already had 11 different jobs in the short amount of years I've been in the workforce. Are you guys ready? Step 1, flashback to your answers that you put up on the screen, the first 2 questions. What did you want to be when you grew up? When are you the happiest? What is it that you love, that makes you come alive, that you're a master at, that you do for no other reason than you love to do it? If you can't think of something, what is it that your friends are always coming to you and telling you that you're the master of? Always asking you to help them with? Maybe you're a tech wizard and they know that you can bring any piece of technology back from the dead. Or maybe you're really good with people and your friends know that you can talk your way into or out of anything. Those are your superhero skills. Everyone's got it? Mental post-it note, superhero skill? Ready for step 2? Step 2 is even simpler. All you're going to do is look up into this word cloud, pull out some of those words that you are doing while you practice your superhero skill without even realizing you're doing it. Let me show you what I mean. My favorite thing in the world is volleyball. I love playing volleyball. Well, when I play volleyball and have the opportunity to be a captain, I have to execute leadership skills to help lead my team to success. I have to practice teamwork skills. If any of you have ever been on a team, you know that sometimes you love your teammates and sometimes they're not your favorite people. But if you want to win the championship, you all need to get along and figure out a way to work towards their goal. Playing volleyball, I also have to be adaptable. I have to be able to respond to what my opponent is doing and adjust my strategy accordingly. Another example, this is one of our Team Alberta culinary competitors. When he is at a cooking competition, he has to be very creative to give himself an edge on his competitors. He needs literacy skills to read and interpret the recipe to make sure it turns out. He also has to be very resilient because, I mean, you guys have seen MasterChef. I can handle that kind of pressure. Another example is one of our Team Alberta car painting competitors. And she said when she's working in the auto finishing industry, it is essential that she has good communication skills to dialogue with clients and find out exactly what it is they want their car to look like. She needs to master technology as it continues to shape and form and evolve in her trade. And she also needs to have a sense of curiosity, to be able to open up a hood and troubleshoot and figure out what's going on and just explore. So, as you can see, when you connect a passion to a skill, that becomes a superpower that employers will not be able to resist. So, we're going to practice your superpower skills today with a little Skills Alberta skills competition. I need 4 brave volunteers from the crowd. Yeah. Okay, in the back? Yeah, come on down. Yeah? I need 2 more. Yeah. Okay, so you 2 are a team. Take an envelope.
What do we have to do?
I'm about to explain. You 2 are a team. All right. Inside your top secret envelope, you are going to find cards that have an invention on them, and you're going to find cards that have a year, a photo, and how old that inventor was when they invented that invention. Your job is to match the proper invention to the inventor, stick them together like that, and then You've got to hang them up on your clothesline. Can I get you to hold the end of this? Whoops. That will probably happen. You've got to hang them up on your clothesline in chronological order. Are these in chronological order right now? What about now? All right. Audience, feel free to pick a team who you're rooting for and help them out. If you guys need help, go find someone in the crowd. Am I right? What should I switch around? What's going on here? Okay? Actually, let's do it this way. You guys go hang out on this side, and this is your team to help you out, and you guys are helping this crew. And the clincher, you have 2 minutes. Are you ready? Yeah, open your envelopes.
Just write in do it in chronological order?
Yeah.
That's where we go?
Totally, you gotta match the inventor to the invention, and then put them in chronological order in your clothesline. There's not a clothesline in yours?
No, I don't think so.
I'll find you one. In the meantime, you can use this one. All right, take it away. Yep.
When this, the kids have to be reminded that they're here till the end of the presentation.
Oh, okay.
There's a transition that will occur at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And then it's okay for them to go to class late after the presentation.
Okay, I'll remind them right after.
Till the presentation starts.
Cool, thank you so much, Ken.
There will be some promotion, so we'll get our way through.
Okay, I'll just remind them to stay here to the end of the presentation. Okay.
And at the end of the presentation, they'll go to class.
Cool, that's perfect. Thanks so much. Did you guys find a clothesline? Here's some more. Oh, here's your clothesline. Oh, there you go. You guys have 1 minute to go. Help them out, audience. Help them out. If you guys want help from the audience, hold up your cards so they can see them. The glow sheet's actually part of mine. It's not in here. Psych. 20 seconds to go. Let's show the audience what you came up with. If you didn't finish, don't worry. Just hold up what you've got. All right. Let's see how you guys did. I'm going to throw the answers up here for you. Congratulations! So, since you guys were all so willing to come up today and practice these skills of, first of all, resiliency, adaptability, this is a brand new task you've never been asked to do. That takes serious guts. Teamwork, communication, critical thinking, problem solving. You guys just rattled off 5 skills without even knowing it. So here is your prize for the 2 girls who came up first.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks.
And to our other team. You guys can just put the cards down. I'll collect them when I'm finished. You can just put them down. Let's give these guys a big round of applause. You guys, you can just put them down. I'll pick them up when I'm finished. Thank you guys so much for coming up. That was awesome. quick pause to our presentation. Your teachers would like me to remind you that everybody is asked to stay for the Skills Canada presentation. The bell will go at around 11, and you guys are able to go to class late after the presentation is finished. So I'm giving you permission to be late for class.
I would try and continue.
Just keep rolling for sure. All right, we're gonna keep rolling. If you are leaving or heading to another class, I just ask that you please transition quietly for those who are still watching the presentation, because we're gonna keep rolling. So stage 1 of your training, congratulations. You've completed stage 1. What will the future look like? And we're ready to head on to phase 2. How will we get to the future? Get to the future. So there are a lot of experts who predict that we are approaching a new era of work. They call this era the age of the artisan. An artisan is a person who makes high quality, distinct products, typically by hand, using traditional methods. But what is more important about an artisan is that an artisan is skilled in the art of craftsmanship. Craftsmanship is the desire to do a job well done for no other reason than doing a job well done. So think of those things that I asked you to put up on the board earlier that you love doing for no other reason than you love to do them. When you do those things, you are practicing the art of craftsmanship without even realizing it. And experts predict that these skilled artisans, these people who make things, are going to be leaders in this new industrial revolution. You don't have to look very far for evidence of their claim. The top designer in Canada last year was a 23-year-old girl who grew up making dresses for her Barbie dolls. She now sells these full-size dresses, obviously, all over the world for thousands of dollars. One of the top bakeries in the world right now is a small shop in Edmonton called the Duchess Bake Shop. Pretty cool. And this fellow at the bottom, Douglas Dollars, he's a simple Albertan who had a passion for knowing what's going on. He started a weekly blog, and all of his subscribers got an in-detailed list of everything going on in the city around them that weekend and that week. Well, Google was so impressed with Douglas's blog that they scooped him up and they made him a project manager. Pretty awesome. Anybody heard of Mike Holmes Jr. from HGTV? Have you seen this guy before? Well, he spoke to Canadian students last year at the Canadian Skills Canada competition, and he said in this new era that a skilled trade is something to be proud of. It is an art. Whether you are hairstyling, whether it is construction, whether it's plumbing, whether it's fashion, whether it's culinary art, whatever it is you're doing, you're taking your imagination and you're bringing it to life. You're expressing it through your hands. And thank goodness. I want you guys all to think right now of some of your favorite things in the world, your favorite song, your favorite movie, your favorite game, your favorite food, your favorite vehicle, whatever it is that you just absolutely love. Because at one point in time, whatever that is that you now have, you now hold, you now love to use, was nothing more than an idea in somebody's head. So the idea that I'm hoping to get through to you guys today is that these ideas are not only worth pursuing, but they are something that the world needs. We need you to pursue those things that you love to do, to bring them into the world so that people all over can continue to love and appreciate and use them. These passions are your internal compass on your career path. No matter how turned around or lost or confused you get, they're always going to point you in the right direction if you listen to them. So now that you're equipped with your internal compass, we're going to have a look at what path you might take to the future. I want you guys to consider your post-secondary education a bridge. It's a bridge that connects what you love into a job that's going to pay you to do what you love. And there are three basic paths that you can take to get there: an apprenticeship, a diploma, and a degree. The path that you take will depend on where you want to end up at and what you want to do. Myself, for example, I've completed all three of these. I did an apprenticeship to become a coach, a diploma to become an environmental technologist, and a degree to become a teacher. And I still use all three of these in my career every day. So let's check out what path might best suit you in your career path adventure. The first question you need to ask yourself is, are you a generalist or are you a specialist? When you are learning something new, do you like to focus and learn everything there is to know about that? Do you like to be a master of one thing? Then an apprenticeship might be up your alley. If you like a little bit more broad, maybe it's an entire subject that you get passionate about and you want to know almost everything there is to know about that subject, then a diploma might be for you. But if you like to know a little bit about everything, then you might enjoy a degree. The next thing you need to ask is, how long do you want to spend in school? And what environment do you invest in? In an apprenticeship, you'll spend anywhere from 1 to 4 years learning, but 80% of your time learning is going to be on the job, usually getting paid as an apprentice, working towards those hours. Only 20% of your time as an apprentice is spent in the classroom. So if you're a very hands-on, on-the-job learner, this might be a good path for you. If you pursue a diploma, you'll likely be spending about 2 years in school with a 50-50 split of classroom and practical experience. If you pursue a degree, you're looking at about 4 years of classroom experience, pretty similar to high school right now. The next thing you need to ask yourself is, how do you learn best? If you are somebody that likes a lot of one-to-one mentoring, then you might want to check out an apprenticeship, because you get to work beneath a master and you get to learn from them on a very, very one-to-one basis. Ask them lots of questions, figure out how they got to be a master of their trade. If you like to collaborate in groups, work on solving problems and creating projects together, then you might take a diploma. Where if you're a very independent learner and you enjoy learning an environment in a large class, then you might enjoy university. The most important question you need to ask yourself is, what kind of knowledge do you want to acquire? School is expensive, so you want to make sure when you graduate that the knowledge you've essentially bought is going to help bridge what you love to do with a job when you finish. If you do an apprenticeship, you will gain primarily skill-based knowledge. So you will learn skills, you'll learn how to do things, make things, build things, create things. If you pursue a diploma, you're going to learn very technical knowledge, very practical knowledge. You might learn something in a classroom setting and then go out into the world and actually apply it and build it and create it and see how it works. In a university degree setting, you're going to gain primarily theoretical knowledge. You're going to do lots of reading and research and reports and writing. Next, you need to figure out, what kind of work do you want to do when you're done? What can you see yourself waking up and wanting to go do every day? If you complete an apprenticeship, that will prepare you to work with your hands. Again, building, making, creating, repairing, putting together, taking apart in a very hands-on manner. If you like working with information, maybe with media, maybe with technology and data, and synthesizing all these things to solve practical problems, then a diploma might be up your alley. And if you like working with your mind, thinking to critically think and problem solve, then a degree might be for you. This is one of our skills all-stars, Cecile. Cecile got involved with Skills Alberta in the car painting competition when she was in high school. She loved it so much that she decided to complete an apprenticeship, the RAP program in high school, where she got to be a full-time high school student and a full-time apprentice, where she got to go to work and get paid to paint cars. Now Cecile is one of the top car painters in Canada and was just made the first female auto body instructor at NATE this year. Another one of our Skills All-Stars is Marisha. Marisha took a year off after high school because she just couldn't decide on what she wanted to do. She had way too many interests, and narrowing down to any one thing just seemed daunting to her. After that year off, she realized that she really loved art, and she wanted to find a way to bring art into the professional world. So she did a quick 2-year diploma in graphic design, and right after that was employed at a graphic design company where she gets to work on her skills day to day towards her ultimate goal of becoming a master penman. Sheldon is another one of our skills masters who competed in the robotics competition in grade 10 with no idea what he wanted to do. But after that, he realized he had a passion for robotics. He went to university and got himself an electrical engineering degree. But when he got out into the field, he realized that a lot of engineers don't have experience in the field. They don't actually know how things are built and put together. They don't understand what they're designing. So Sheldon went back and then did an apprenticeship. So now he understands how a project works from the bottom up and is respected both in the office and in the field. So you can see there's no one path or no right path to take. You might do one of these, you might do all of these, you might do a combination, you might go back later in life and brush up on your skills. But it comes down to where you want to end up at the end of the day. Connecting again with that passion that you want to do for a living and figuring out what you need to get there. All right, you guys have whizzed through phase 2. How will we get to the future, leaving us with only one phase? How will we become masters of our future? How many of you guys have heard adults tell you, you students are the future? Anybody heard that before? And how does that make you feel? Do you love that, or is that like, whoa, too much pressure, dude? No. So much pressure, right? That's insane. So we built a skill machine for you guys to plunk yourself in and maybe connect with a possible industry that you might be destined to be a rock star in. So plunk yourself into the skill machine, see where you come out at the bottom. Once you've found an industry that you might connect with, you might want to explore some CTS courses in high school. What is awesome about CTS is it's the only subject in school that you get to build your own curriculum. So you never have to ask your teacher, when am I going to use this in the real world? Will this be on the exam? Because you get to choose from hundreds of courses what it is that you want to help you on your career path. A lot of these courses also offer dual credit options, so you can start to work towards post-secondary credit right here in high school. And if you find something that you really, really, really love, you can enroll in the RAP program where you get to start working as an apprentice like Cecile. You're a full-time paid employee working towards their apprentice hours while earning high school credits at the same time. It's pretty cool. One of the only opportunities you actually get paid to go to high school. Here's a list of a few jobs that these CTS courses will equip you for. But if there's nothing up here that interests you, don't worry. Check out the ellischart.ca. This site is like the Wikipedia of trades and technology jobs in Canada right now, with over 400 jobs that are available. Okay, our next step in mastering the future, we're going to take a little cruise on the skills jet. Blast off. For each of those industries that you guys just checked out, Skills offers competitions for students like you guys to come and have an opportunity to practice dedication to your craft and mastering your skills. We have 33 competition areas for high school, and once you graduate, we have 45 competition areas for post-secondary. You can compete all the way up until you're 24 years old. Pretty awesome. These competitions are like the Olympics of trades and technology. They are a blast. You don't just show up unprepared thinking, yeah, that's cool, I'd like to go try bake some cookies. No. You're gonna do a little bit of preparing for this. So let me show you the road of just how far skills can take you. Your first step, if you're thinking, okay, I've got some skills and talents and things I'm really passionate about, let's see what this skills thing is all about. Well, you're going to register to compete in a regional competition in the spring. You're going to check out our website for what's called a project description. And it's going to tell you exactly what you need to do to master, to practice, so that when you show up on the day of competition, you are ready to rock. I talked to 2 girls last year who ended up being our baking competition winners at regionals. And they told me that months before the competition, they printed off the project description, and twice a week they went to each other's houses to practice baking what was going to be asked of them that day. So when they showed up on competition day, oh man, they rocked it. Nothing was left to chance. They knew exactly what they were doing. Regionals take place in the spring. You guys, in the Calgary region, obviously. If you're interested in signing up, talk to a teacher and make sure they get you into the program that you are interested in. Our top finishers at regionals advance to the Provincial Skills Canada competition, May 30th to June 1st in Edmonton. This day, or this event, is a blast. Just like the Olympics, we bring in bands, we bring in celebrity hosts, and we have a huge opening ceremonies party the night before. After that, we have 2 intense days of competition while the Battle of Alberta goes down. My favorite event is the robotics competition, where anybody attending the event can pile around the robotics arena and watch the robots students have built go head to head. Provincials wraps up with a big closing ceremonies where our top finishers are invited up on stage and become a part of Team Alberta, who then get to advance to the Skills Canada national competition, which, super exciting, is being hosted in Edmonton this year. It has been years since nationals was on Alberta soil. Sorry? Oh, just kidding. It's been years since nationals was on Alberta soil. So we are super stoked to host students and teachers and visitors from all over Canada, right in your own backyard. The top finishers at nationals this year become part of Team Canada and advance to the World Skills Competition in Russia in 2019. And I know what you guys might be thinking, like, really, Randy, come on, Team Canada, yeah, right, as if that could ever be me. But this is our current Team Alberta representation on Team Canada this year, from all corners of the province. We have a competitor from Calgary. We have 2 competitors from Calgary. Woo! But a few short years ago, these students were all sitting right here, getting this presentation, thinking, what is this skills thing? A few years later, they're off to Abu Dhabi in 3 weeks to compete at the World Skills Competition, representing their country, their province, their hometown, and their school. Pretty cool. Oh. Sorry, guys. Little blurb about provincials. Get you pumped to come down.
From the chair that you were sitting, to the smartphone that you used to send an email, and the vehicle that transported you here today. Every aspect of your daily life has been impacted by someone who works in a skilled trade or technology. For over 25 years, Skills Canada Alberta has been a leader in showcasing career opportunities in the trades and technologies. Each year, we welcome career seekers, students, and teachers to take part in a career exploration experience like no other. With the help of more than 1,000 volunteers and millions of dollars in donated equipment and tools, over 45 unique trade and technology events are brought to life at our flagship event, the Provincial Skills Canada Competition.
I'm having a great time. I'm learning a lot. And I'm getting a lot of experience. It's something I love to do, and potentially could, help me later on in my career with a great on resume.
Skills competition is a wonderful event for junior high school students to experience what opportunities and career paths exist today for them. And we're here to help and encourage them to pick a career that they'll enjoy and a career that they like.
sure you know all about these rewarding, meaningful careers. Young people touring the event have the opportunity to explore 45 hands-on trial trades and try skills. You can try your hand at carpentry, welding, culinary arts, videography, and so much more.
Today I came here with my school to just check out the expo center, see what's up.
Everyone's not really quite sure what they want to do after high school, and I feel like this is a good opportunity to kind of see what there is.
Yeah, tried a lot of things here, and it was amazing.
Back to the views and stuff I've seen today, and it has been pretty cool, and it has been my favorite part has been just like exploring the different trades and like what kind of couple teams there are.
We guarantee you will be inspired to explore new skills and talents and learn about rewarding careers that could be a great fit for you. Join us at the 2018 Provincial Skills Canada Competition, May 31st to June 1st, 2018, at the Edmonton Expo Center.
So if you weren't, oh, no worries. Super, thank you. So if you aren't sure if you want to compete at provincials, but you might still want to come check it out, see what's going on, we also offer a free school field trip to all schools and all students in the province to come check out what all the fuss is about. Last year we had over 10,000 students attend our school field trip, our try a trade and try a skill. If you do come down, oh no. If you do come down for the field trip, you'll see a whole bunch of stuff going on. At center stage, no worries. At center stage, there are competitions, there are presentations, there are game shows going on to win cool swag all week. For example, we have a toilet paper dress competition. These people up there built those dresses out of nothing but rolls of toilet paper. Pretty cool. We also have a grade 9 culinary challenge, which I realize is of no use to you guys, because you guys are all 10 to 12. We also host a Girls Exploring Trades and Technologies conference, which is an awesome opportunity for girls all across the province to come down, enjoy a super awesome breakfast, and connect with women in the trades and technology. And explore some jobs that you maybe had never thought of before. But the best part of provincials is our try a trade events. We have over 45 different booths set up around the Expo Center, and it is like trick-or-treating for trades. You get a swag bag, and you get to cruise around from station to station and actually dig in and try these things. A backhoe simulator, a graphic design tablet, a VR simulator. You get to be a reporter in front of a green screen. You get to build a hula hoop out of plumbing pipe. Learn to change a tire. Use all kinds of tools that you might not have access to at your school. This year, one of the coolest things I saw at Try Trades was students got to operate a spider crane. Does anybody know what a spider crane is? It's a miniature crane that is shaped like a spider. You get to get inside the crane and play like life-size claw machine with this crane. Pretty cool. No problem. Oh, Treja. How's that? Awesome. Thanks for your patience. If the hard trades aren't up your alley, that's okay. We have tons of try skills as well. You get to come in and try out your culinary skills. You get to try your aesthetic skills, your hairstyling skills. You get to build a cool dolphin out of a banana. You can impress all your friends with your mad skills. To give you guys a bit of a taste of what the try trades are like from the eyes of a student, one of our competitors last year has allowed me to share his video submission with you guys. So this is the work that he produced as a competitor on the day of provincials, but he also wanted to convey to students across the province, yo, I had no idea what I was coming into, but this is what you can expect, and it's pretty cool.
Well, here I am. Skills kind of really sure I'm going to find whatever we want in here, but you never know, I guess. Wow, this place is big. Very, very big. Guess I'll take a look around. This is kind of cool, I guess. Nice. Trial trade. Okay. Hey, you take it forever. Carpentry, okay. It's not really my thing, I guess. This is kind of cool. I guess I'll try it. Okay, put the information down. Start there, okay. I like this. That was fun. Yeah, I guess I'll try this too. I'll take a fit with gloves. That's it. Wow, I'm a pro. I'm natural at this.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cheers for today?
You know what? I had a lot of fun. Yeah, it's really good. I just found trades that were very interesting.
If you like it so much, what if you pursue it as a career?
I thought about it.
Well, I think it's been a good day for me. I coming in, I didn't know what I was going to do as a future, as a career, but I found something. I found passion. I found passion for the trades. I'm excited.
So if any of that looks up your alley, make sure that you bug your teachers to bring you down to the Provincial Skills Canada competition next year in May, June. Not only is it a blast, but you get to miss a day of school and come have an awesome field trip and maybe discover some skills that you end up loving or hating. And then you realize, you know what? Maybe I'm not gonna be a hairdresser. Maybe I'm gonna be a carpenter instead. Well, that wraps up phase 3. Your mission is complete. But if you guys are itching for another mission right away, a new program we're starting this year is our monthly Maker Challenge, where we'll post a video every month. And just by entering and posting it on Instagram, you have the opportunity to win a pair of Beats headphones. So here is the video for September's Maker Challenge.
Design and build an arcade game. Your items will include cardboard, duct tape, plastic spoons, and a marble. So, what will you make? What will the rules be? How will you win? Will there be points? Time limits? How will you make it fun? What will you do to engage the players? Will it be single player or multiplayer? How will it work? What will the physics be like? What will the theme be? What kind of visual style will it have? Now don't forget to experiment and make tons of glorious mistakes. Your design is going to be awesome because it's yours and it's coming from your creative mind.
So if you're interested in entering the monthly Maker Challenge, all you have to do is answer all the questions fully in this video, post a photo or a video of your submission on Instagram, and make sure you tag at Skills Alberta and use the hashtag SkillsABMakers. At the end of each month, we'll pick one winner to receive a mystery gift card and a grand prize winner to receive a pair of Beats headphones. If anything you saw up here intrigued you guys today, feel free to check out our website, send me an email. I'd love to hear from you, answer any questions you have, come grab a business card, and check us out on any of your favorite social media outlets. We have cool stuff going on all the time. Whoa, 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 I'm not done. Sit down. Thanks, bud. Before I leave, I would like to give all of you the opportunity to win a $25 gift card. Just take a screenshot with your phone and go to surveymonkey.com/r/skillsalberta. Super quick 10-question survey to help me make this presentation better for you guys, because it's about you, not me. We'll pick a winner to receive a $25 gift card and appreciate your feedback. Does anybody have any questions? If you have questions, come down and chat with me. I'll be kicking around for a few minutes when I'm done. That wraps up our presentation today. Thank you guys so much for having me. Good luck with your new school year.